She poured his champagne with steady hands, dressed in a crisp Maid uniform, while the cameras rolled and the elite whispered. He didn't recognize her. Not yet. The man who once built his brand on her brilliance now laughed as she wiped his table. To him, she was invisible. To the room, she was just staff. But underneath the tray she carried was a contract. One signature away from turning his dream venue into her newest acquisition. This isn't a revenge story. It's about power that never needed to shout. Comment your city below if you're watching. This story deserves to travel. Before the headlines faded, she was a force, black, bold, and brilliant. Her name graced Forbes. Her restaurant empire spanned 5 states, and investors lined up to work with her. Behind the scenes, her white husband, a rising tech CEO, played the part of the proud partner. But envy is quiet. He smiled at the spotlight while secretly craving it for himself. Then came the scandal. A sudden lawsuit, media attacks, frozen. Assets, almost overnight. Her empire crumbled. And within weeks, so did the marriage. He walked away clean, blaming her instability while capitalizing on the collapse. He told the press he had moved on from chaos. She disappeared. Years later, he was back in the news, marrying a young tech heiress at a luxury venue rumored to cost millions. Guests arrived in limousines, cameras flashed, and quietly in the background, she walked through the doors wearing a maid's uniform. The mansion sparkled, dressed in crystal and candlelight. A wedding fit for royalty. The groom basked in praise, successful, admired, reborn. But what he didn't know, the venue, the land, the decor, even the catering company, all belonged to the ex-wife he discarded. She had spent years in silence, rebuilding, acquiring, rebranding. She purchased bankrupt estates, restructured assets under a new name, and created an empire larger than her first. And when her team flagged a wedding booking made by his new bride's foundation, she didn't cancel. Instead, she showed up herself, disguised, quiet, a server in black and white. "No one says who I am," she warned her staff. "Let him speak first." And he did. Hours before the ceremony, he saw her. No recognition, just arrogance. "Still cleaning?" "Florist." He smirked. "Guess that's where you landed." The staff froze. Guests chuckled. His fiancée looked away. She didn't flinch. She poured his champagne. But across the room, a tech investor paused. He knew that face. He pulled out his phone, eyes widening as her name appeared in a top 50 hidden titans of real estate article. He walked straight to the groom. "You know who she is?" he asked, dead serious. "She owns this building." The smile dropped. Then came the whispers. Panic swept across the room like wildfire. Guests murmured. Phones lit up with searches. Bride stared at her screen in disbelief. The woman mocked just minutes ago was no maid. She was the owner. Not just of the venue, but the entire luxury event chain. The groom, flushed and stammering, bolted to the service hallway. There she stood, flawless in uniform, calm as ever. He choked out, "You planned this?" She stepped forward slowly, eyes locked on his. "No," she whispered. "You did, when you booked my building." Then she leaned closer. "Congratulations. Just made your most expensive payment. It's me." And with that, she turned, heels clicking softly on the marble, leaving behind gasps, silence, and a groom with nothing left but shame. Dear audience, if you're enjoying this story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. She didn't need applause, didn't need revenge. She walked away before the cameras even caught up. By morning, articles flooded the internet. CEO marries inside ex-wife's empire, the silent power play of the year. He was the joke now. The man who mocked the woman who owned his wedding. But for her, it wasn't about humiliation. It was about reminding herself and the world that Black women rise, even when buried. She had been erased, underestimated, and discarded, but power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it pads in a maid's uniform and lets the room realize the truth, 'cause ownership speaks louder than titles. And the next time someone laughs at where you are, make sure they look up to see who owns the ceiling. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.